Good morning guys, welcome to Operation Crypto. I've been gallivanting again, so not an update for a few days, but we'll have a look back at the market to see what's going on, and we are still range bound. If you look at this currently on the 4 hour time frame here, we have this range. We've got the high range here, the lower range here, and then the central trading point, which is at EQ, at equilibrium. Kind of come down towards that region, but then we are on today's candle kind of starting to push up a little bit. Just a thing to note, if you look at the futures on the American stock market, so we've got the ES, the Nasdaq, which is slightly in positive territory, and the ES, which is S&P 500 futures, is also slightly up today, about 0.5%. Still very early in the day. I mean, opening's not for around another 4 to 5 hours, so that can soon change, but that little bit of positive sign there is taking a little bit of a negative effect on the DXY. The dollar, that is trending down currently. I mean, you can see from the highs there when it cleared downtrend, and then who knows, I mean, you could also say that we are forming a bit of a bull flag here as well, so you've got to be wary of that. I'm still expecting more relief on Bitcoin, to be honest. I mean, looking at the charts, we are, like I say, we're range bound. We're currently at $20,900. We've come back down towards this EQ, and it's really a point of, do we stay above EQ or do we short down? I think personally, if we start getting a few 4 hourly candle closures below 20,200, then I probably will be looking for short back down towards 17k. I just have a bit of an inkling still that we're going to break this region up at 22,700. I think if we do break that, and vice versa, the exact same, if we get some 4 hour closures above range highs, then I'm looking to target this major level up here at 28,600. The market is probably not going to give us that region, but it's just an area I just really think it looks like it needs testing. I mean, there's no liquidity within this range, and if we look at this, I mean, if we pump from this current price, you're talking a 36% move on Bitcoin, which is a mammoth move really. It's going to take a lot of money to start shifting that. I just can't quite see it. The volume is just completely starting to die off, while the price is starting to push up. If we look at the volume, it's a bit of a bearish eye, to be honest. Let's find the vol. I'll have a look at standard volume there. So, if we look at this on the daily time frame, you can see that the volume is starting to, where's my arrow, starting to decline. Price is starting to push up. That is a bit of a bearish sign, to be honest. I mean, usually with lack of volume and price pushing up, it's not good, and really you could expect a bit of a nuke at any point after that. So just be wary of that too. That's something to keep your eyes on. Let's hope it doesn't play out, and let's hope we get a little bit of volume return to the market and we start pushing up, and we can really target those 22,700 regions. But for now, it did look like we topped out and started to roll down. And overall, the market is, I tell you what I didn't notice yesterday, that Bitcoin dominance has significantly dropped. I was quite surprised by that. Bitcoin's pushing up, but dominance starting to drop. That just shows that there is a bit more strength in Ethereum than anticipated, a bit more strength in some of the altcoins than anticipated. If you look at some of the alts, some have been doing fairly well. I mean, reserve rights is probably not going to add to that factor because it's a low cap. But some of the other ones, like VeChain's not really moved up. Solana's had a little bit of a rise, but not much. And I am very surprised that Bitcoin dominance has dropped that much. I mean, we're closing up on towards 48.5%, and we dropped. Maybe hit this just level of resistance. And I've mentioned it throughout previous videos. I'm still expecting Bitcoin dominance push up towards that 52% region. If you look on the weekly time frame, it's a clear level of resistance, which was major level support in the past. I still think that's going to happen. If that does happen, you're going to expect a major move on Bitcoin. But in tandem, it would absolutely kill some of the altcoins. Potentially not in the dollar pairs, but in Satoshi pairs. I think that's when you really start to see the bleed. A top tip, if you are looking at your portfolio and it's down, switch your value from USD to BTC, and you'll notice that your BTC value is quite significantly higher than it has been in the past. Could be a good time to sell some altcoins into Bitcoin, because altcoins may potentially drop like a lead balloon if Bitcoin really does start to increase dominance. So that could be a good time for you to leverage that Bitcoin or leverage your altcoins and build up your Bitcoin, or vice versa. Looking at Ethereum, that's up at $1,200. It's had a nice bounce from there, and to me that looks like a capitalization wick so far. If you look in the past, I mean, when have we had a wick that big? Not in any of this period back here. I mean, we had a major wick here back on when the market is dumped on the previous bull cycle into the bear, bang, dumped. We had a nice rise, but just remember that could happen again. We could have a nice rise now up toward this region here, which is that previous all-time high at $1,400. It then could trickle down. So we've had a capitalization wick down. We could start pushing up, and then we may come back down, and who knows, test that region. I don't think we're going to test $400, but this could be a major support level here, which I've identified at around $900. I definitely don't want that to happen, but you just got to take into consideration the state of the markets, the state of the economies globally, and that's just something to keep your eye on. But we have got that merge at some point soon. Whether it's happened or not, I'm not too sure. I don't really keep my eye on Ethereum. So yeah, that's a bit of a bullish factor. For any type of bullish price action, you need to regain $1,500. If it did reclaim that, then you're going to start looking at $2,000 again. But I still think we're a long way off that. I'm expecting with Bitcoin this. I'm expecting very similar to what happened back in 2018. A nice relief bounce, like I mentioned, up to 26 or 28k. That could be potentially happen, but then potentially sell off. 1 year after, in the previous cycle of Bitcoin highs, will form the cycle lows. There's nothing to say that's not going to happen again. If we move that slightly to the right, the Bitcoin all-time high was on 1st of November. Was it that one? It was that wick there. The 8th of November 2021. 1 year after that will be around there. So if you're looking for a cycle low, that could be around this period here. Depends where it goes. Depends if it goes down to that 10k region that people are expecting. The people are expecting that region because it's happened twice in the past. Bitcoin has dropped 85 or 84% in previous cycles. I mean, if you look at this all-time high back in 2018, we dropped 84%. People are expecting that to happen again. History does not always repeat itself, and if a lot of people are waiting for buys down there's a good chance it will not get, well, especially if everybody's aiming for that same target, probably not going to happen, is it? But in terms of analysis on the rest of the market, there's not much to talk about. We'll just have a quick look at the Fear and Greed Index, which is today actually down at number 10. It's actually dropped since yesterday, even though we've had, I mean, it's a tiny pullback in. I'm surprised that's dropped to extreme fear down there, but we have been in extreme fear now for what feels like eternity, isn't it? It's just been malingering down there. Price action has not been favourable at all. We have had a decent bounce from 17k's, but still we are down in the dumps. But yeah, that's it. Thoughts on the market today. In terms of news, I'm going to do a couple of news videos this week. There's a lot going on. Some of these DeFi platforms and these crypto platforms are just collapsing out. We've had a load of Nexo, FUD, Voyager. They've had 3 Arrows Capital default on their 15,000 Bitcoin loan. There's just so much going on in the space, which is anti-crypto at a minute. So if you're still around and still watching, views are massively down, but it is what it is. Then I think if you're patient enough and wait a little bit longer, I think we will start to see some gains, whether that's end of this year or next year. Whatever happens, you know I'll still be here providing this content. So if you're sticking around, I think you'll do really well. But that's it. That's it for today. If you're new to this channel, please make sure that you are subscribed. Hit that like button, and I'll catch you next time.